Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
All right.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's
What?
a positive thing when you get a note from your wife right before you go on, and she goes, hopefully this one isn't a blank show like last week's was. I'm like, thanks, babe. We're hoping.
Can only go up.
We're hoping. And you know what? That's right.
Right? We set the bar low.
That's right.
We can only get better.
Right.
Can't get much worse than last week.
It was.
I mean, look at us now. Right now, it looks like I'm in a different time zone than you.
You are. You look like you're in the Hamptons.
Right?
I'm in Omaha.
You're either, well, it is the Omaha skyline about 3 hours ago. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm in the daytime. You're in the sunrise or sunset?
I'm in the rise.
You'd be in the, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the rise.
Which direction does that look? Is that looking west?
I don't know. I don't overthink it. I just search Omaha skyline and download it.
Okay.
That's all. So I don't overthink it.
That works. That's
Yeah.
good. So anyway, so everything is working this morning. So
Knock on wood.
I don't, I've got,
Hopefully.
there we go. This will work. Cool.
I need to say hi to somebody real quick. I need to say hi to Vladimir.
Really?
Yes, and it's very confusing. It's like a white somebody my wife works with, white cousin, husband, I believe. But Vladimir listens to the show and has listened to us for a long time. So
Nice.
hi, Vladimir. Thank you for listening.
That's awesome.
You're the man.
Cool. All right. So yesterday, Jack went to doggy daycare. Mm-hmm. And he had a long day at doggy daycare. I mean, tongue was dragging when I went and picked him up.
Yeah.
He when you go pick him up, and he literally was walking to me. He's just like he was dying. And we walked out the door, and his tail was wagging, but he's tired. Open up the back door. He jumps in, turns around, and he whines, like cries.
Oh, that's not good.
And I'm like, and then he sits up and he holds his little left paw up. I was like, you were just fine. We just walked. You were out running around in the backyard, and what did you just do? Like maybe I don't know if he like landed on it and it bent it back or it bent it forward, or when he jumped in the back seat.
Oh, got it.
Because
Okay.
that's right when it happened.
Okay.
And so we get home, and he has a little ramp that he uses to get out of the truck when he gets home because it sits a little bit higher. And I know I've talked about this before, but I don't and he only jumps in and out of the truck 3 times a week, but it's hard on their shoulders. You know, when they're jumping out.
Yeah.
And already German Shepherds have that issue anyway with their hips and their shoulders and stuff. So he used a little ramp. He got out, and he was limping like crazy when we got home. But he ate his dinner. His appetite was on point. And slept on his, he slept in his bedroom because he took over the guest room. That's his now.
Yeah.
So he slept there. He was fine. And this morning he got up, and terrible limp, just holding it up on 3 legs. He was basically hopping.
Man.
And so I called the vet this morning to take him in to make sure nothing serious is going on. And so I was able to drop him off because they were busy. They didn't have time for an appointment. So they said, just bring him in and drop him off, and we'll take a look at him. So I don't know what's going to happen. So they may have to
Is he
do
staying
x-rays.
Is he staying in the JT wing of the vet place? I mean,
Yes.
basically, you pay their mortgage for about 18 months.
Basically, that's kind of how it works out.
Yeah.
Anybody with a pet, you feel like you should have your own suite
Right.
by the time you hit 3 or 4 years old.
100%.
And so that's where he's at now. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I think it's in his ankle. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
That sucks. And especially like even humans, like you injure yourself and then you lay down all night and you wake up and it's just stiff. You're like, even if it's nothing bad, it's still sore.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. And when he went outside then, and he ate everything, appetite's still on point, went outside and picked up his Frisbee and brought it to me on 3 legs.
He is a gamer, man.
See, he's on
He
point.
is a
So
gamer.
I gave it a light little toss and far enough ahead of him so he could he just kind of loped over to it because it's like this is his thing. He goes outside, he gets his Frisbee, I throw it to him, he chases it, he picks it up, he carries it across the yard, drops it, pees and poops, and comes back in. And that's exactly what he did this morning. So everything else is perfectly fine.
So when he peed and pooped, like he just on 3 legs, just hovering, like
On 3-point. It's a 3-point stand.
it's a tripod poop. It's a 3-point stance.
But he nailed it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. My little Carrie Strug. So
she wasn't pooping though.
nope. There was something larger going on. Oh, what happened to me? I just went away.
Oh, finally. Oh, yes. There you go.
How did that happen?
So we're live on Facebook and YouTube if you guys are, if you're just listening to the audio, and your camera just went away.
Why?
I don't know.
It's plugged in.
Obviously.
Okay, then I'm going to get the other camera.
Okay.
I have backups.
Perfect.
I'm getting better at this all the time.
I know. Eventually,
Right?
like you had said right before we got on here, it's like we have so much stuff going on and so much stuff that we're doing. Like sometimes we put our show like last on the priority list. So when we're getting all this stuff up and going, it's like building the airplane while you're flying. That's kind of what we're doing.
That's my new favorite
and that
saying.
That is a great saying.
I can't get it to change cameras.
I don't know. There's too much bandwidth apparently coming from your side.
There
we go. There it is.
No idea.
You know what really sucks is that, okay, so if you're not watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you need to go check out the video. It'll be posted. But you said to me before this too, we were setting these up, that your good side is the opposite side of the camera. But your good side is also the side that has your mouth hole from your tooth.
This is my good side. So
I don't think I have a good side, but either way, when I look toward the computer, you can see this big neck zit right there. And I had
wait a minute.
And I had to say, and I shaved last night because of this, and I missed the spot. I noticed it on the way in. It drives me, and you can't tell, but it still drives me crazy when I miss. I'll spend 20 minutes I shave in the shower, making sure I get everything. I hate when there's like a little patch. It drives me crazy.
I've messed up my green screen. So.
Or if I have a little.
Look at this. I'm having.
You keep disappearing. Sorry, babe. It's a shit show.
It was so close.
The first 7 minutes were good,
and it looked really good. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I am fading. What is going on? What am I? We'll figure this out.
Oh, that's
sooner
funny.
or later we'll get this figured out. So anyway,
we've got.
Hold on. I'll try not to be distracting. Hold on.
Okay. Well, there you go.
What can I say? Is that about as close as it gets?
In your Hamptons living room, you're good.
I don't know.
Nobody's watching anyway. You have like.
You know what I did? Hold on. I think I figured it out.
Okay.
Wait 1 second before you start your story.
Okay.
Because I want to hear this whole story and I don't want to be distracted.
I'm gonna make sure everybody sees what you're doing.
Right.
There you go.
Okay. Now I can see. I moved everything, so now my green screen's there.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
You look good. You look fine.
The other one was the laptop.
Okay.
That's why it looked like I was looking right at it because this camera's off to my side.
Okay. And we can't see your mouth hole.
That's
so
why
that's
it
good.
looks on this side so you can't see the mouth hole.
Can't see the mouth hole. And that'll be the name of our podcast today. Can't see the mouth hole. So Sophia is going to homecoming this year. Got asked out by a boy, and they're going to homecoming. And so that day is going to be glam squad day. It's going to be the girls coming over, the guys coming over, hanging out and getting. Well, the guys aren't going to come over and get ready, but the girls are going to get ready at the house.
So when is that's on homecoming?
It's I think it's the last Saturday in September.
So you're planning on having the whole crew over to your house?
That's kind of the tentative plan. We just don't know. It's fluid. I mean, it could change the day before. We have no idea.
I'm trying to remember homecoming. We didn't really go to each other's houses to get ready. I remember prom was a big deal. Homecoming wasn't really that.
I know we went to somebody's house and then the limo picked us up. Like we flexed. Everybody flexed back in the day for limos. Anymore, you don't.
Homecoming?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Ours was after the football game.
Oh, no. Ours was Saturday night. Yeah, we had a Saturday night homecoming.
Was it Saturday night? I'm trying to
That
remember.
was when I killed all the flowers. When I put them in I went, Julie and I had to go pick up flowers, and they put me in charge of putting flowers, and I put them, I'm like, well, hey, they're supposed to go in the fridge, so the freezer's just as good, and I froze all the roses, everything. Yeah, so.
Okay.
That doesn't work. Flowers don't work good in a freezer. No. They don't last long at all.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, homecoming was never that. Homecoming was not that fancy. Prom was the fancy one. Because homecoming was more...
Yeah, we still wore ties and stuff for homecoming. Like I wore a thin leather, total douchey tie. Like I went to Penny's. Oh, this is one of my good. This is terrible. This is so trashy.
Is Penny's still around?
But I don't know. I think it might be. I mean, Penny's isn't trashy, but what I did at Penny's was so trashy. I went and I got one of those suits that's like all on a hanger, like everything from the socks and underpants. It's like bed in a bag? It's suit on a hanger. And it was all like small, medium, large. No, nothing. And it was, the brand was called City Streets, right? Remember it. And so I went and I got it, and I kept
$59.95.
I think it was like $60.
That'd be about $59.95.
Yeah, like $69.99. Well, it might have no, it was more than that because that's why I did what I did. Is I kept the tags on and returned it on Sunday.
I've never heard of a guy, because guys can rent tuxes, right?
Right.
I've heard of plenty of girls who have the prom dress and returned it, and it's like you realize that nobody buys these dresses any other time of the year. So if you're buying a dress and you bring it back in May or June, they kind of know you wore it to prom. They kind of know.
I probably set it up for saying that I went in acting sad that she broke up with me or whatever, and we didn't end up going or something like that. I don't remember, but I didn't even have a date. But they didn't know, and I got my money back. and I didn't have to keep that terrible City Street suit with the in the leather tie. It was that skinny tiny little leather tie. It might have had piano keys on it.
I was just going to ask you that.
It may have. I don't remember for sure, but it may have.
And you didn't have a date. Dang.
We all just went everybody just went as friends.
That was a
more fun.
homecoming and prom. That's what we always did for the most part. It seems like a lot of people did that.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 6 of us in a car. I remember that driving.
Yeah.
For prom, I think it was, because we always had prom in Lincoln. It seems like not in Ashland, because they wouldn't let us use the high school gym because they didn't want us to ruin the floor.
Oh yeah.
So we couldn't use it. So we had to go somewhere else, and there were no ballrooms or hotels nearby except Omaha, Lincoln, Wahoo. I mean, you'd have to drive 30 minutes no matter what. But I do remember that.
I remember it being fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
so
all,
is she excited about homecoming?
She's pumped. I really haven't talked to her a ton since she told us, but yeah, she's pretty pumped.
What's
her and Beth will talk about it more.
do they have like? Are they doing like prom nights? You know, of course, they have the post prom and they have all the other stuff going on. What homecoming consists of?
I don't know.
Did Bennett ever go?
No. I think he might have gone one year, but it was like with the guys. It was like, I'm not going to that play. That's stupid. That's dumb. So I don't think he went. He probably didn't go.
So you have no idea what this
I hated
about.
dance. I wouldn't have gone if it wasn't a group of friends that wanted to go. I wouldn't have gone either. I think they're dumb. I think proms are dumb. I think because unless you're going to go out and dance,
or
which
hang
I
out with
didn't.
your friends, hang out with your buddies, have a fancy meal.
Yeah, we went to the aquarium. Remember the aquarium? That's now a fix your credit score place on 72nd by Walmart.
I do remember that.
The aquarium. That was like when you went when you're from the country. Yeah, it's called like Credit Max. So like when you're out in the country, like the big restaurant you'd go to, the aquarium was a big one, and Brother Sebastian. Another one. And we went to my junior year. It was the aquarium, and my senior year, I think it was Brother Sebastian's, and that place was creepy.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't expecting that.
There's no windows,
and they all wore. What are those
and
things
monks.
called?
Yeah, they were just
servers
like monks.
were monks with the heads on hoods and everything. Like that is just it took me off guard. I wasn't expecting that.
Definitely a mood. Like they set the mood. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know. It's still there.
Yeah, it had a fire a couple of years ago, and they rebuilt. I think they rebuilt.
Yeah. Oh, what's the other restaurant that recently had a fire too? Oh my gosh! And they rebuilt. It's on 72nd and Mercy.
I don't know.
The steakhouse.
It was called the Steakhouse?
No, it's a steakhouse.
Oh, I have no idea.
I can't remember the name of it. Oh, I know the name of it too. And I hear you screaming at me right now, people. I hear you screaming.
Well, Nikki just posted on our Facebook page.
Yeah?
That place is creepy. I'm assuming she's talking about Brother Sebastian. So
Right.
It's really good.
Drover. Danielle Driver. Dover. The Dover.
The Drover? Yeah, the Drover's still around. Is that the place that had a fire?
Drover, because it's like the cattle driver, the Drover. I think that's what the Drover.
Is that what it
I
is?
think that's what it is.
It's not spelled DR. It's like
DRO, Drover.
Oh, I thought it was like a last name or something. It stands for Drover, like I drove her there.
No.
What?
like cowboy.
Right. Well, yeah, like
A
I drove.
drover.
Oh, I didn't know that was a cowboy thing.
The drover.
There's a cowboy
You
position
drive-
that's a drover?
You drive the cattle. He's the drover, not the driver. He's the drover.
Oh.
He drove them. He drove her.
So on a cattle drive, you have a drover. You don't have a driver.
You don't have a driver.
So if I'm riding
you
a
have
car-
driver if you have a truck.
But if you have
If you're on a
riding
horse,
it's a
you're a
drover. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because if I'm driving a car, I'm driving. I'm not the drover. I'm the driver.
You're in the car.
But I'm on.
If you're on a horse, you're the drover. And it says here, one who drives cattle or sheep, drover. So there you go.
Man,
that was hard to get there. Danielle, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. I had no clue. I had no idea. I had no clue that that's what that was. And I also, about 2 weeks ago, had no idea that the saying, oh God, what is it? I posted on Twitter. I don't know. I'll think about it. But it was one of those things where it's one of those, I don't even remember. That's when like the teacher would say, how do you spell this word? They go, look it up in the dictionary. I don't know how to freaking spell it.
Oh my God.
That's why I can't look it up in the dictionary.
I'm going to look it up on your Twitter page.
I don't know. Or maybe it was on Instagram. I don't remember.
Oh,
I
that
actually was
doesn't
on
help me.
Instagram.
Was it really?
It was one of those things where you've been saying something for your entire life and then you actually
One of my favorites
You hear it and you like, then I looked it up. I'm like, that's what that means?
One of my favorites is rear view mirror. And John Carroll always thought it was the river view mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of those. I wish I could find yours now. If it's on Instagram, see if you can find it.
I'm looking right now and
Good.
we'll see.
Because I want to know what it is. And I'm just going to sit here and look at the comments for just a second and see what we got going here. I drove her there, right? I hear you. I hear you, Alaska. Pat gets schooled on cattle drives. Thanks, Gary. Driver, drover.
Well, like, who knows that? No one knows that.
Correct. That's funny. Danielle, you got us there.
It was in toto. I thought it was in total. My whole life, I thought it was in total, but it's in toto. It means, yeah, INTOTO, in toto. It's not in total. It's in toto.
In one word?
Uh-huh.
Who told you that?
The internet.
In toto?
In toto, yeah.
What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. It's a way to say it, I think, right?
I don't know. In toto.
Toto.
INTOTO.
Toto means entirely.
Right. In total. So I'm thinking
that can't be used.
in total. Like if you'd say in toto.
I think they're interchangeable. I don't think it's wrong.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it as long as I say something and you don't think it's wrong. I'm fine with it.
I think I'm double checking here to see if the dictionary corrects me, but in total.
Yeah, like
as a saying in toto. I've never heard that before.
Right.
Maybe it's. Has anybody else heard that before? In toto?
I don't know. I when I posted it, I got some comments and some messages. People saying that, yeah, like, duh, where have you been? Well, I don't know. It just makes sense. Like, who would even say that in total? Like,
don't take it for granted. That's a good one. Are we supposed to believe everything on the internet? Thank you, Carrie.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
like
it's Oxford
from Wizard of Oz.
It was a screenshot of from
In
Oxford Dictionary, so I believe them. I mean, I don't know who else to believe if you can't believe
They've
Oxford
changed
Dictionary.
a few definitions in the last year, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And they've added some questionable words. It's like just because we say it a lot doesn't make it right.
Right.
Right?
That's very true.
All right.
Okay, so we do these lives every Friday, and we're going to do them more often. You can comment on our Facebook page and on YouTube, and keep the comments going even after we're done because the video stays posted.
Yeah.
So if you're just listening to the audio, make sure you can go to our YouTube page and Facebook page.
It's hard to comment right now while we're doing it, and we will come back and
we'll get
answer
on
everybody. So if we didn't get to you this time, we'll do it, but be more Pacific.
Be more Pacific. That's a good one. Yeah.
I love these. So we will eventually. We're going to try to eventually be able to do lives every morning. Mm-hmm. That's the plan, and we're just trying to get that into our schedule where it's written in granite.
Yeah,
or we take it for granted. We take it for granted that we're going to do it.
In toto, we want to do it every week, every day. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
We will eventually do it every morning, and we just got to get the studio space and get the schedule around so that it doesn't interfere with anybody else.
Right.
And then we have to hold to it.
Right. I know, because then that's a lot of pressure.
And
And one more thing before we get out of here, unless you have other stuff you want to talk about. Are you good? Do you have more things?
I'm just worried about Jack.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And thank you, Allie, too. I saw your note about Jack, too.
It's one of those things that you think about constantly.
Yeah, I'm just in the back of my mind. They said they had me sign the waiver, so if they had to sedate him in order to take X-rays and this and that, and yeah, I'm like, absolutely. And so then the girl comes out talking to me, and she like 3 or 4 times kept saying, well, if we have to, do you want us to call first? And I'm like, well, we're fixing him. So regardless, you're going to do it.
Right.
So, whether
whatever.
you can reach me or not, I already signed off.
There's not going to be any level of, no, we'll just let it go.
Right. She says, well, do you need a call for what the estimate's going to be? And it's like, well, probably so I can, prepare myself. But
Get
it's
a
not
co-signer if I need one.
It's not going to change my mind. You're still going to do it.
Right.
So whatever it is, just roll with it. Whatever it takes. Let's
just do it.
Let's get him fixed. So
well, hopefully they know soon.
I know.
So,
but we have a nice long weekend, so he can
chill.
He can chill, and I'll be around with him, and
carry him around.
Right?
If you need to on his little.
That's why I said,
backpack.
dude, you got to get him down these stairs by yourself. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you because you got to go upstairs.
If he can poop on 3 legs, he can get up and downstairs by
I
himself.
agree
He's
with
good.
you.
He's good to go.
I think he can do it. He's young.
He's right. He's young. He can do it. So one more thing I want to play before we get out of here. We've had we've had Nick Baugh on our podcast before. Nick Baugh went to Creighton, went to Kansas, played basketball, was on the radio for a long time. Now he has his own podcast on our network,
and he also works with Fox Sports.
Right.
Analyst for them as well, and he's done some big games. I mean, he's been able to call some big games, and he gets to interview some great guests.
Right.
Everything from Doug McDermott, right? If you remember way back in the day, doing the Dougie with him, and Coach Mack. I mean, he was tight with all of them.
Yeah.
And still is to this day. And then McDermott just recently signed a humongous contract.
And Nick had him on the day after he signed. So he's really super connected with those guys.
He's a basketball player.
And anyway. And they also have, and Matt Schick, who's on ESPN, they have a podcast together. The Schick and Nick show used to be on the radio. Now it's a podcast. Both of those are on our network.
Yes.
And recently, like 2 weeks ago, we built out a video studio in Nick's basement. So we've been trying this. And Bo Rude, who everybody knows Bo Rude if you're a Nebraska Cornhusker fan.
He went to high school with Nick.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, they were both studs on campus, big men on campus.
And they've been besties forever.
Since they were little kids.
And they are like, put those two people together, those two guys, they are the funniest
And a bottle
people.
of wine.
Well, they are the funniest in the world. And they, a couple times a month, they do something called the Wine Pod, where they sit in their studio, they turn the microphones on, and they just drink for like an hour and a half. Well, now that we have video of this whole show. It's hilarious.
Hilarious to listen to him. So if you're not able to see the video right now, that's cool. Eventually, if you're listening to the pod, try and pull this up so you can see it. I don't know where we are. Where are we at time wise? 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So about 20 minutes.
Well, I'll just post it on our Facebook page.
Just that clip.
Just that clip. I'll post the clip that we're going to play now. I'll just post it on our Facebook page, so it's right above this.
So explain what this is.
Well, this is a highlight clip of. This is a minute-long highlight clip of their hour-and-a-half wine pod that transitioned from them opening a bottle of wine to the very end.
Oh, that's not the clip I saw. The clip I saw was where they were just finishing.
Well,
and they stopped it.
Yes.
And then they looked at each other and they're like,
That's at the very beginning of this. So it's so this is like clips from that whole thing, a minute long, and it's just listening to them. It is hilarious. So this is the Wine Pod, Nick Baugh podcast with Bo Rude.
We'll send you off on this, guys.
Okay. Maybe.
No audio.
Well, let's try this again. Hold on. Why is it muted?
I don't know. IT guy.
I don't know. I don't understand. I hit play and it's not. It's like it's playing.
We almost made it.
You know what?
We almost made it.
We lied. I'll just post it on our Facebook page. Just go look at it. I don't know because I don't understand why. It's like right there. I hit play and then it mutes. I don't understand. And then I unmute and it won't play. Anywho.
That's terrible.
That was the best setup for nothing. Talk about a good old Friday dry hump. Sorry about that. Well, but anyway, just whatever. I'll put it on our face. Right above this, I'll just post the video. I have no idea why it's not playing.
Well, at least we're consistent.
We're almost in toto done with this episode. Without any
in toto?
Yeah.
Not in toto done. We almost
in toto.
I've never heard that before.
Guys, thank you for watching and listening to our podcast. It's Pat and JT, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.